I'm Aditi Agarwal, founder at So Too High. So Too High is with all those who are doing something out of their passion and are attached with the roots. A lot of people are working to save Indian culture and are also giving it a modern look. So Too High is dedicated to all the startups in their journey and wants to acknowledge those who have created a niche in the society. Today I have with me Ram Charan, who is an engineer and is innovative. And in order to bring a change in the society, he is working on dyes and he's using natural dyes. And I would like to welcome Ram to you in So To High for a candid talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Aditi.
Yeah. So Ram, tell us about the story behind fabric color. How did the idea come to you?
So fabric color. Uh, so earlier, while I had just finished my college, and I was like I was designing on softwares. I was
Okay.
doing some graphic designing on the softwares. I
Mm-hmm.
was making designs and printing them on T-shirts using screen printing.
Okay.
Also, around that same time, I was experimenting with dyeing, other dyeing techniques, and I
Mm-hmm.
used to work with. I used to get dyes from a local shop here. Uh,
Okay.
these were chemical dyes, like when I started working on it.
Okay.
So they were cheap. So I just
Mm-hmm.
thought it was just like I just wanted to see how it works, how it goes.
Mm.
So with started making some patterns on it, and I thought like, yeah, I mean, this really works. So I was just like it really dyes or what all other things I can with the pattern making, like as far as the
Okay.
designs of tie dyes are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So that got me interested into it. And while my research, like I was going through the internet for new patterns, for new techniques and everything. So I
Mm.
came across natural dyeing
Okay.
during my research, and that uh, that opened up a different door altogether. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was something which I've never had I had never heard of, and it got me really interested into it. Uh, so initially, I started collecting food wastage from my kitchen itself. I had
Okay.
asked my mom to keep all the food wastages like for me, and I would later use them to experiment my own thing.
Okay.
So she for a week or so she collected these onion skins from a
Mm-hmm.
kitchen, and I she gave it to me, and I was like, yeah, let's try these onion skins, because that was something which I came across during my research on online.
Okay.
So initially it was like I didn't have any equipment. I needed something to, like, it is all you need to boil the raw material, and then you extract the color. So that was the process. So I didn't have any equipment, and I couldn't use my mom's utensils then, because yeah, she would get mad at me. uh, so uh, at first I started using it. I started heating my water with what do you call immersion rod. So it's
Okay.
basically used to heat the water.
Heat the water. Yeah.
uh, yeah, so I use that. I put in my onion skins there, and I
Mm.
put in a old fabric out of my old t-shirts. I cut out some samples, like few swatches.
Okay.
I put it in the dye pot, and after an hour or so, I see some color on it. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I mean, this kind of works. So I thought, like, well, let's check if the color stays or not. So
Okay.
like, after drying the fabric, that swatch, I washed it. I washed it
Mm.
thoroughly. I kept it to dry, and then I tested. I mean, I checked it, say, the next day, and I found
Mm-hmm.
out that the color stays. So that was like, yeah, I mean, this really works.
Okay.
And that made me more curious, like what other materials are there which I could use.
Mm-hmm.
So I came across many other raw materials, many other plant-based materials which I could use to,
Okay.
dye stuff, dye
Yeah. Can you
textiles.
name a few?
And we like at first I started with onion skins.
Yeah.
Then I came across marigold flowers, so I
Okay.
dried the flowers and kept it for a while. It took me a week or so to dry the flowers.
Okay.
Then I crushed it I grinded it into a powder, and
Mm-hmm.
then I used that. Uh, then other would be myrobalan. It's an Ayurvedic herb.
Okay.
Uh, it is being used since centuries here in India.
Okay.
So I used that. I got some other shade from that, and then I started, looking for the reds and the blues and the
Mm-hmm.
other tints, other shades that I could achieve. That introduced me to, during my research, I came across many other dyes which could give me those colors. So
Okay.
one was indigo, natural indigo. Indigo is basically I cannot really acquire from anywhere, so
Mm-hmm.
I need to go to a supplier and get that indigo, because making indigo is quite a tedious process.
Mm-hmm.
So so I, I uh, ordered a sample, a kg of it, indigo
Okay.
powder, and so even that gave me some other, it gave me a lot of shades. With each dip, I would get some
Get a
different
new.
shade in indigo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time I dip it, it would get darker and darker and darker. So
Mm.
I was like, this is magic. This is just, I had never experienced before. I
Yeah.
was just, it just, yeah, it just made me, like, it just got me, it just made me come more and more closer to this natural dyeing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I've experimented pretty much, and I think I can create a business around this idea. And
Okay.
what would be a best way to start out in this kind of a with this kind of an idea? So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, since uh, uh, it is basically like cooking, right? So
Yeah, you're
I thought it is,
experimenting.
since it, yeah, I was experimenting, and it was basically, the making of colors is basically like cooking. So
Yeah.
so the women, I thought, the first thought came in my mind that the women can work really, I mean, they would know, so basically they have an idea of cooking far better than women, far better than
Mm-hmm.
men. So I thought, like, let's gather, let's gather some women who really need some help, who really
Yes.
need some kind of uh, you know uh, who are facing problems, basically, who are
Yeah.
facing
And
social issues.
mm-hmm.
And
Some
the
extra
workshop
earnings.
where I mean,
Hmm.
some extra earnings for their,
Yes.
so that it gives them that confidence,
Mm-hmm.
in the, like, it generates some livelihood, and
Yes.
it basically supports them in their daily, you know uh, chores that they do. I mean,
Hmm.
it basically takes care of their day-to-day, uh, like whatever
Expenses.
they want
Yes.
to do, basically.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, something to support them.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened my workshop. It's near my place here only. So the workshop, I mean, it's a lane, basically. So
Okay.
earlier when I started it, there was nothing. I mean, it was just a house I rented. So I mean, people were staying there, but they had a terrace on top of it. So
Okay.
I rented that place. I
Okay.
rented that place. I gathered the women around that
Mm-hmm.
lane, and I told them about, like, what I'm planning to do, and how I want you to get involved in this, and that I would be that I want to start out with a workshop, a natural dye house, where I could
Mm.
teach you. like how to extract pigments from various different Ayurvedic herbs or plant-based materials.
Hmm.
A lot of them they came back. A lot of them they wanted to get involved. They wanted to, they really liked the idea about it, and
Hmm.
they they basically started coming to our workshop.
Yeah.
So initially we started out with I think it was about 12 to 15 women,
Okay.
and I basically started a training program, a skill-based training program for
Okay.
them for 2 months initially,
Mm-hmm.
and later they would be the permanent members who would be taking care of all the dyeing.
Okay.
So yeah, that pretty much is that pretty
So
much is the story.
yeah. So Ram, tell us like when you started and
Yeah.
what were the raw materials you started procuring, and now what is the scene? Like it is in-house, a lot of material you are getting it in-house. Like how does the whole system work for you?
Yeah. So initially, like I mentioned, initially I was doing it with my old clothing. So I was just basically trying to upcycle my old clothes. Uh,
Yeah.
I would uh, I would steal my sister's clothes, or my dad's. He has this lungi kind of a thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
goes, which they, yeah. So
Yes.
I started stealing these stuff from my house itself. So
Mm-hmm.
it gave me a lot of it basically allowed me to experiment lot of colors,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, that basically uh, that it encouraged me to do it on a
Commercial
product
scale.
which
Yes.
would, yes, exactly, to do it on something which I can sell, which I can
Mm-hmm.
basically make money out of,
Yeah.
uh, to support all the women here. So I started out with t-shirts. So
Okay.
there were a lot of t-shirts which you could buy for 25 bucks, 50
Mm-hmm.
bucks, like that, like white t-shirts.
Yes.
To work with organic uh, cotton.
Material. Yeah.
So I organic, yeah, material, which is basically, the better word would be sustainable textiles.
Mm-hmm.
So 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 I procured some t-shirts, like ready-made t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
organic cotton t-shirts, and I started making patterns, like whatever I had learned earlier
Mm-hmm.
during my experiments,
Mm.
or
You.
whatever I have taught these women. So we started doing these same patterns on the for
Material.
basically selling purpose. Yeah,
Okay.
for to basically put it into market.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing that, and
Mm.
we've been like we received a lot of inquiries about these.
Okay.
Uh, the thing about natural dyeing is I mean, it has a lot of other benefit. It is known for its curative and medicinal benefits as well.
Benefit.
I mean,
Yes.
the natural dyes, yeah, it enhances the fabric itself to make it antimicrobial and antibacterial, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically good on skin. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the parents, I mean, the
The
customer
kids.
base who are
Mm.
parents,
Yes.
yeah, they really like that idea,
Mm-hmm.
and we have received a lot of attention due to that. I mean, there are there are so many I mean, there are still companies who are into
Mm-hmm.
kids clothing, who approached us, who wanted to
Okay.
try out our products,
Oh
right
wow.
from products for babies, like newborn
So
babies,
what products you
to
have for the newborn babies?
so newborn babies, we basically have this swaddle kind of a thing. It's basically used to wrap newborn babies.
Okay.
So we use a soft organic cotton muslin fabric, which is
Oh.
soft, really really soft,
Mm-hmm.
and we basically dye it and make it into swaddles. So swaddles is nothing but a small square fabric piece, right?
Okay.
So you would just wrap the baby there in the
Mm-hmm.
you basically can wrap it, wrap
Okay.
the baby in the cloth. So I mean, there are not real clothes for kids that small,
Yeah,
for
it's like that.
babies that small. So
Yeah.
yeah, so swaddles, and then we started
Mm-hmm.
doing other dresses, like small dresses for girls,
Okay.
t-shirts for small kids, small boys,
Mm-hmm.
uh, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Ram, tell us what
Uh,
was the biggest challenge you faced when you started with it?
the biggest challenge, I would say, of course, the finances, because
Okay.
since it is a slow process,
Mm-hmm.
we really need the sources to be. I mean, the raw materials that we put in. I mean,
Hmm.
normal, like I mentioned, conventional cotton is 25 to $50 a t-shirt,
Yes.
right? Whereas organic cotton t-shirt cost you over 250 to $300,
Mm-hmm.
like one t-shirt. So taking that part definitely was a problem as far as the finances were concerned. So we are
Hmm.
still self-financed. So since basically I had to put money out of my pocket to sustain this, so
Yes.
that we could provide to these women.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but initially, I mean, that was the case. So initially, we really this the finances was the major challenge. I mean, we
Hmm.
did not have any investors or anyone who could uh, who could help us to sustain this business. So we
Okay.
so that really slowed down our progress.
Looking for investors?
We are, yes, we are, because we
Okay.
definitely want to scale it up to basically the production output is not that big at the moment, because everything is hand dyed, so it is super slow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the process itself is super slow.
So a
We
lot
need
of working
finances to
capital
have,
is required.
yes, a lot of working capital. Yes, we do need that. I mean, as far as the infrastructure is concerned, as far as
Mm-hmm.
the machineries or the equipment that we need, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these are really expensive machines. So for that, we need investors who could invest in this initiative, who would uh, basically have good return on investment.
Yes, yes.
Because this
So
has a market not in India but all across the
all
globe.
abroad, yeah. So at
Yeah.
So to High, we also have a provision of getting an investor on board for you. So
Okay.
we can get into call later to discuss about it, because So to High is a platform where we want to provide everything, like from promotion to ideas, and we can collaborate with other people, and we help get investors also, and we also provide some tax and legal advice also through our platform. And I have known people who are authentic and can help you with it. So we can get into call later after our session to discuss about it. And is
So
the
from Indigo
procurement,
itself,
yeah, and is the
yeah, please
procurement
go
of
ahead.
raw materials difficult?
Procurement of the fabric is difficult. I
Okay.
mean, there as far as organic cotton is concerned, it's pretty difficult, because since we are a small dye house, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot really make big investments right away, because whenever we approach organic cotton suppliers, we cannot really buy it in bulk, and they really want people who can buy it in
By
bulk.
yeah.
Yeah, so we cannot really problem.
Okay.
Uh, so we procure a lot of dye material from our households only. A lot of it comes from uh, temples
Oh,
around here,
flowers.
which basically, yeah, the flowers we procure are basically a waste for these temples, because after they are done with their rituals or their
Mm-hmm.
pujas, they basically they tend to discard it.
Yeah.
What we do is we go to these temples, we collect these flowers, we get it to our workshop,
Dry
we
it.
spread it out
Mm-hmm.
on our terrace, and we dry it out. Yeah, we dry it out, and we then store it somewhere, and then we
Mm-hmm.
keep using it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like I mentioned earlier, onion skins. Onion
Mm-hmm.
skins. I've asked all the women artisans at my workshop to collect
To
whatever
collect.
whatever they use to make food every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like they collect it for a week, they get it to the workshop, we store it, and then we keep using it.
Yeah. I think
There are few dyes.
beetroot
Yes,
must
yes,
be
please
providing
go ahead.
very good colors.
Beetroot, yes, it does provide color. Actually, the problem with beetroot is it seems like it would give you a very good color, but the
Okay.
thing is, in reality, it doesn't really.
Shades you
Absolutely.
want. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes,
Ram, it
absolutely.
was great knowing about fabric color and the journey you began with it, and you're managing your professional uh, part also, and you're following your passion. And
Yeah.
I'm I would just love to know more about it in videos if you can share with us, and
Mhm.
it would be great if we see the process also.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. And from So to High, we wish you good luck and you get lot of success in fabric color and as well as in your profession.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for being in So to High today.
Yeah, yeah. My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.